I called this the March 17th, 2026 meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners to order. Our invocation tonight will be given by Coach Dyron Birdwell. He's the Lincoln County High School boys basketball coach. And our pledge tonight will be given by his team, the 25-26 Lincoln County High School boys basketball team, who were the district champions in the 4A 6th district. At this time, if you would please stand for our invocation, remain standing for our pledge.
Bow your heads, please. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day and its many blessings. I want to thank you for all that you've done for us, for our basketball program, for our county, for Lincoln County. I want to ask that you watch over all our county commission, all our elected officials. Please watch over our country in this time. Please continue to listen to all our prayers and things that have been going on and throughout our county, our state, and our world. Most of all, we want to thank you again for bringing your son to die on that cross for all of us, and for us to have salvation and everlasting life. All these things we want to ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask the team at this time, if y'all will, can we get a microphone somewhere there? If y'all will turn around, face the camera, introduce yourselves, and tell what year in the high school you are.
I'm Rich Jones. I'm a senior.
Reese Smith, senior.
Logan Leverett, senior.
Maddie Franklin, senior.
Braden Eeks, junior.
Kobe Whaley, sophomore.
Danny Patrick, sophomore.
Deason Ogle, sophomore.
Colt Bryan, freshman.
Waylon Martle, junior.
Brody Bryan, junior.
Eli Gross, senior.
Thank you, Coach Birdwell, for a job well done. Congratulations, gentlemen, and we look forward to those that'll be back for the next few years doing even greater things. So congratulations. Thank y'all. At this time, if John Richardson, is he in, do you mind coming up just to the podium just a second? Before we call the roll, Madam Clerk, it was something that needed to come early in the meeting, so we don't want to put off a lot.
Before we have the meeting, I thought it might be appropriate. I understand it's Jenny Rose Walters' birthday, and I thought we'd recognize her and maybe see if we could sing happy birthday. So I'll lead us. Y'all join us. Everybody join me in happy birthday here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jenny. Happy birthday to you.
It's hard to embarrass her, but maybe you did, John. Happy birthday, Jeannie. Madam, I believe we're ready for roll call.
Brandon Coley.
Here.
David Sanders.
Here.
Danny Walker.
Here.
John Creason.
Here.
Bonnie Caldwell.
Here.
Terry Lynn Rogers. Jack Atchley.
Here.
Kate Gewen.
Here.
Mark Mitchell.
Here.
Charles Hunter.
Here.
Marianne Tackett. Steve Spray.
Here.
Daniel Eldridge.
Here.
Jason Nix.
Here.
Anthony Taylor.
Here.
Doug Cunningham. Pat Haynes. Tori Young. Ricky Bryant. Glenn Douglas. Steve Guntherberg. Troy Frazran. Jason Hambrick. Jenny Rose Walter. 23 present, 1 absent.
23 and 1. Okay. Don't have any announcements. No public comments were registered for. I would entertain a motion for approval of last month's commission meeting minutes. Commissioner Frazran makes a motion. Commissioner Walker seconds. Any questions, comments? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. You should have received 11 monthly committee meeting minutes in your packet. If you didn't, see me after the meeting and we'll get those for you. Tonight, Joe Griffin, who is with CTAS Property Assessments, and he's their consultant on that, he's here, and you should have gotten a handout covering what he's going to speak on. Did everybody get a handout on the CTAS pilot programs? Okay. Joe, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you for coming tonight and look forward to the information you'll provide us.
Thank you. Joe Griffin with CTAS. Thank y'all for allowing me to be here. I just really want to cover quick points in here, and then I'll just open it up for questions y'all may have on the pilot programs specific to Lincoln County or just in general. The first page, which is just a CTAS, basically fact sheet, it talks about that the only way that a county or city can abate taxes is through a pilot program. So that's why, do I need to turn this on? Can y'all hear me?
If it's on green on the rim, it's on.
Okay.
I think it's on.
Right. I couldn't hear myself. So you have to go through an IDB. That's the only way that taxes can be abated. That doesn't mean exempted. That means you're delaying them, or you're giving them some discount for something that they're doing for the county, such as bringing jobs or helping in a blighted area, that sort of thing. Pilot agreements providing for the I'm about halfway down, for the acceptance or waiver of payments in lieu of taxes, including any renewal, extension, or such agreements may result in the corporation's lessee making payments in lieu of taxes in an amount less than the applicable ad valorem taxes. So that's where that comes into play. This can also be for capital improvements down the road. All this needs to be written into the agreement in the beginning. These aren't assumptions. Everything that you want a pilot to do for your county needs to be spelled out in the agreement. And I even suggest, if you have somebody write it for you, to have them take it to somebody else to look at before you just sign off on it, because I've been in this business about 30 years and I've seen all kinds of things that both sides assumed different ways. One assumed that they were going to get capital gains or capital improvement money on the back end, and the county assumed that they were going to pay their own capital improvements, and it became an issue. I did see or hear it from Jenny earlier on a question about some of the requirements. How much teeth do these agreements have? Well, they have a whole lot of teeth. They mean that you can actually take it out of the program, and you can do different things to make them pay the money that's owed. However, in one situation I had a large corporation in a county, and they were supposed to have 250 employees at all times. And the county commission had a person on there who watched this very closely because they had a relative working at the company. And they had an extreme layoff due to unforeseen circumstances. And they called the company in to let them know that they were below this threshold and that they needed, and they basically handed them a tax bill at that time for the full amount and said, you're in lieu of payments or null and void because you've gone below the agreement. And they said, okay, thank you, and walked out. And about a week later, or a month later, they showed up at the next county commission meeting with about 10 attorneys that had suits that cost more than most people's vehicles. And they said they would just pull out of the county. So you have to be mindful of those things. You know, a lot of times these companies are looking at 8 or 10 different places. Lincoln County is a great place. I've worked in and out of this county for 30 years. But these people that are looking, they've got sites all over the country. They're looking for the best deal. And when you're doing that, you're not always tying yourself to that community. And I think that's a perfect example of how that works. I'm not saying that these are good or bad. I'm just pointing out a situation that I've had to run into in the past. I've seen them where they work perfectly like they're supposed to, but it all starts on the front end. There's one in here that says County Technical Assistance Service equivalent payments. These are all the things by law that you could take instead of an actual cash payment for taxes. I won't go through all of them. You can look at those on your own, but it's different services, water, electricity, different utilities that the county could receive instead of getting it in lieu of payment. The next packet, again, I don't really want to go through this one for the essence of time, everybody in here, but it reads like a book. It's a story of a person who is in charge of a county and a company and how these agreements come together, and it walks step by step on the do's and don'ts. It's a really good little handbook to keep with you when you're working on one of these. The one thing the reason why I'm hurriedly getting through that is I want to point out this application. One of my counties uses this. It's not what this isn't for the IDB. This is for the county commission or the municipality that is approving the contract. You know, a lot of times a company will get approved and vetted by the IDB, and then they will come before you for approval. And I think that was one of the questions as well. This application is something that you as a commission could send to the company. And there's all kinds of questions in here. It talks about their employers, a lot of their history, their intent, and it all, basically, if you follow this line by line and get this answered, then you're probably going to be, and you're going to understand where this company's coming from. And it also has to be notarized. It's not as good as a sworn statement, but it's close. So I would have them fill that out before you move forward, so you can, again, make sure that you get some of the questions out of the way to begin with. That's just a sample one I made for y'all. I sent this to the mayor in a PDF, so y'all can use it at your pleasure. The last thing is straight off of the comptroller's website. It explains the process of getting an IDB in place. And there's one thing that they don't put on there that is in this reading, is that they need to come before you for a public meeting about this. And that's why I would have this application. If they want to do a public meeting, I would have them bring this completed to the meeting. Okay. Lastly, they're supposed to register with the State Board of Equalization each year on October 1st. The problem with that is the late fee for that is only $500. We probably have 30% of the companies in the entire state that register. I did pull y'all's list, and it looks really good. Y'all have a good IDB relationship with the state board. Apparently, they're filling it out like they should. But at that point, I'll just turn it over for some questions that y'all may have on them.
Okay. Anybody have a question?
Yes, Jim.
Commissioner Rose-Walter.
So if a new company takes over a facility, like due to a bankruptcy, do we negotiate a new pilot with them, or do they take over the existing one? I would think we would negotiate a new one. I'm just confused because we've had this happen recently and we're told another company's coming in. I have no idea if they've negotiated a pilot or not, but I feel like it's a relative question.
It would be spelled out in the agreement if whatever would happen if the company were to leave early, how that would roll back. I have one county where there is an actual individual that builds spec buildings in the county and holds them in his name until the companies come and take it over. Then they quit claim it to the IDB, and that's how because he pays full taxes on it till it's occupied. But as far as them swapping out without a new agreement, I would have to read the current agreement to see how they have that written. Again, that's just like for capital improvements. Everything needs to be spelled out in those agreements. we usually get, when I say we, I'm talking about the assessors of property, they usually get those agreements within the assessor's office. But a lot of times they don't get the complete agreement. And what I mean is they get the agreement with the signatures, but they don't get the payback schedule. They don't get a lot of times the actual time. They get the time length in the contract, but they don't get what percentages it escalates up and percent of taxes. A lot of times those are just those are between the company and the IDB, and they don't have to be recorded like the actual agreement. That's how the assessor gets them, is because they're recorded. Sorry, I can't be more clear on that for you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Douglas.
Yes.
What seems to be the latest in how long pilot programs are made for?
That's a very good question, Glenn. Apparently, you know, Dell was an exception. Dell was a 99-year lease for $1, and they broke it after about 20 years. So the legislature has written in that anything over 20 years has to be approved by the commissioner of TDEC as well as the comptroller of the Treasury himself. So if you get any over 20 years, then it has to be approved by them before it can move forward. So typically what I see is a 15 or 20 year cycle. But again, when you've got people fighting for a company, those are things that sometimes they will negotiate beyond the norm. But they have to get approval if it goes over 20. It's a good question.
Commissioner Frazran.
What type of penalties? I know you was talking about the employers a while ago dropping below those numbers. Okay, so if we spell out the pilot program, you do it on the front end, you got all your T's crossed and I's dotted, and the employer says, well, we're just not gonna do that. Like you said, they bring in the lawyers or they shop in other places, so how do you enforce it like that?
It's really difficult because it's like a relationship. You got one side begging and the other one's got choices, and they can pull out, and a lot of times the penalty doesn't outweigh the benefit they may be able to get somewhere else. Like I said, these are the worst case scenarios. Those are why I'm bringing this here. I'm not saying all pilots are like, we have some very good pilots and great companies in this state because of pilot agreements. They're just not really a pilot, but TIF. The Omni Hotel in Nashville's here because of a TIF. You know, there's hotel here, and there was a restaurant that was built because of a TIF. There are very good things that come out of those, but sometimes it's kind of like buying a house or car. Sometimes you fall in love with what you're buying, and you just rush through the paperwork to get it done and get them here. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, you know, the people who are making the main decision before it comes to you, and then you get here and it's not what you expected. That's why I say just make sure that you go through this application very thoroughly. There are a lot of good questions in here. There's a lot of things. I actually got this from Knox County because they were trying to cut back on the amount of pilots they had, and they were picking and choosing. And when I got asked to come here, I thought this would be the perfect application to bring to this county.
Commissioner.
One more question. I know last year it was, it got hung up in committee about the assessor of property and the trustee being automatic positions on IDB boards. You know where that stands today?
I think it died last year in the legislature, and as far as I know, it hadn't come back. I haven't seen it on any of the bills we're watching this year.
I haven't either. I thought maybe you saw it through another round.
No,
Commissioner Frazran.
Just to follow up on that, I mean, I asked about what the penalties was and how you enforce that, and you really didn't.
Right.
I mean, you said it was tough.
Right. Well, if they
So, I
pull
mean,
out,
is there any penalties that you can put on them? Can you go back and garnish their profits or anything like that?
well, the pilot becomes the first lien on the property. The problem with that is the property is usually in the IDB's name because you have to put it in the IBD's name to get it to where you can abate taxes. So it would really fall on the IDB to make up for anything if they were to pull out. It also depends on the way the agreement's written. All those penalties are spelled out individually, and they're written a lot of different ways. I can't just blanket say it's this or that. I have seen some companies that were supposed to do some capital improvements, or they took over an old building. They were supposed to do things and make it right and look better, and they didn't. They just kept it the way it was, and they were asked to leave. But typically, you've got, at that point, people who live in this community working at those businesses and factories, and it's hard just to kick them out when you've got a tie to it. Just like with the one that went under 250 employees, they didn't want to let them leave, so they just ignored that part of the agreement. And eventually the company did fold because they were cutting back on people anyway, but they did hold on to them for another year or so. And they brought in another company after that, but it wasn't as good as the one that they had first had. I'm sorry, I can't be more specific, but there's just not a ton of teeth with it.
Any other? Commissioner Rose-Walter.
So if we start using this application, could we also look at, you made a point that another company, a family member, was the reporting person as to the clawback and how many people. Could we, as a commission, say we're going to use this application, and in addition to that, we would like annually at budget time for a presentation to be made that states every year, these are the pilots that we have. These are the clawbacks. This is who's meeting, who's not. Could even be an opportunity to brag on, the successful companies that are meeting those obligations. But that way the commission stays informed about what is in place. Would we need a resolution, or can we just do that as, listed as a requirement? Because when you start trying to look in Google Drive and requesting information, it's hard to get a hold of all of it. So if it was a required report that we as a commission wanted, would we have to vote for that to be done in addition to adopting this application process?
I'm not sure, because the best way to do that would be to get the IDB to come report for all of them, like let them gather that information and report as a whole. Instead of standing each company up here, I think that would be
Well, no,
difficult.
I mean,
But to
during
get-
the budget,
yeah.
just as like, hey, this is where we're at, here's the annual report of our pilots. Because
I'm
you
not-
can go online and
yeah.
look up, but
I'm not sure about the commission process on doing that. That part I don't know.
would it be,
I guess you could.
but we don't write the contracts, but we could require it through this application
Well,
process.
when they come in for their public meeting to get approval from you, then you could. One thing I did fail to mention, you can also have these agreements where the city has an agreement and the county doesn't agree to it or be a part of it, and vice versa. You can have it where the county is part of it and the city's not. It's just where they opt out of the program. Really, the only thing that you lose when you do a pilot agreement, of course, there is some tax dollars in the beginning, but hopefully you gain that back and people living here, buying products, doing things to help sales tax and get things up to in property tax. But the real thing that you lose is the school money. They don't contribute to their portion of the schools. That is one thing that gets a lot of people fired up. Just another thing to consider.
At a meeting, at one of the House meetings last week, Representative Todd was stating that one of the bills would require the county and the city to both agree on the pilot and any abatement. Do you know anything about that? Like, if we have one that's not in, that doesn't involve the city because of school funds, is that something that now the city would have to vote on due to this bill that's going through?
Yes, I think that's changing or updating what we've already got currently. But
Okay.
yes, I wasn't aware of that bill. I haven't been following that one.
I would be in favor of this application, and I would still be in favor of somebody going online, designating that as a responsibility, because most of the information is online, and then they could ask the IDB about the clawbacks and just do a report annually so that the commission is informed about it. So somebody could look into that. I don't know, again, if I could make a motion to that effect, that would be, I believe, budget's responsibilities, not mine, but I think that would be something to annually be presented during that time would be great, during the budget cycle. Thank you so much for coming and speaking to us.
You're welcome. Again,
Anyone-
just make sure that when you get an agreement, that you have somebody, a third party, review it. Even if it costs a few dollars, it will be worth it at the end, because of the fact there could be things that you're thinking are in there or assumed that aren't, and that's where the issues fall. Okay?
Very good point. Thank you, Joe. We sure appreciate it. All right.
Chairman, I'll move to second Ms. Rose's, motion to start taking this application.
Okay.
using it. And the reason being, we had a company here in town that was under pilot. Before they left and filed bankruptcy, they called and tried to put a lien on the building, which they didn't own. They were gonna try to borrow $3 million on it. And maybe this application will help background search it better than what it's been.
Okay. So your motion would be prior to any decisions the commission make, you would want that application filled out. Is that correct?
Well, I actually was just discussing, but I would consider that a motion if you want to make a second. Could I amend that to include?
Well, we can back up and start all over if,
All right.
to make sure it's clear, Madam Clerk, or you ready to write?
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we request an application process that models what Knox County has adopted and have our lawyer look at it and refine it to suit our needs, that the proposed pilots must adhere to.
Okay. All right. And are you,
I'll still second it if we amend it, make sure that they come before this body to get approved.
okay. I don't want to change anything about it, but sometimes there's confidentiality that you're going to have to redact some things in this. I don't disagree with the application, but sometimes it may have to be redacted, far as,
I'm still okay with that.
okay, all righty. Does everybody understand? Everybody got a copy of the Knox County one? Okay. Discussion, yes, sir.
Are we trying to make the companies, is this part of the motion or is it not part of the motion where a confidential company is being requested to come appear before this legislative body?
I don't think they're asking that. They're just asking for the application.
So is it part of the
I'm
motion
all
or
right
not?
with it not being, if we have the application to be able to do.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't asked my question yet.
Okay.
This is like first grade stuff for the IDB. I mean, they go through all this stuff, long before, had the utility requirements been reviewed. That's first grade in the world of industrial recruitment, So it wouldn't be any problem for the IDB to get this filled out.
Okay.
We don't need 24 commissioners sending this to a company and requesting that they fill it out, we go through all this stuff already, and so like I say, this is.
Well, I think then we could have the IDB make sure it's filled out then and present it,
That would be a much
but presented to the commission.
Yes.
Okay.
It would be part of the all the information that is submitted.
Is that all right, Madam?
Well, that's fine. I do want to point out collectively, and this is a quote from a document online, the Department of Economic and Community Development has issued $53.6 million to companies that failed to deliver on promises to create 8,385 jobs for Tennessee workers in exchange for taxpayer-funded investments. Some companies created jobs but went bankrupt, closed down or scaled down after receiving state funding. So I don't consider it first grade to want to inquire and ask these questions. I think it's our job to ask questions on behalf of our constituencies, especially in lieu of several of the bankruptcies and lowered job thresholds that have occurred recently at some of our companies. So I think that this is just responsible. So I disagree. And the motion did say that our that our lawyer could look at it, and I don't mind whoever else, if you feel like budget's most appropriate, but to make recommendations and make it best suited for Lincoln County. We don't want to copy and paste. But I think everybody needs to be informed, and me seeking information about the pilots, it's very difficult to find them, and I want to make an informed decision. So I support the motion, obviously, and I disagree with it being first grade.
Okay, any other discussion? Commissioner Bryant?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just feel like, I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like we're in the tall grass. We're in the weeds. I don't have a problem with an application process. I don't have a problem with a lot of those things, but there's some things that I don't know. And I think we have a committee system in place for a reason. We have an IDB board, and I think that this should start with that board and progress through the committee system in order for me to understand it. Because right now I got to vote no because I think we're off over here in the weeds somewhere. So, and I don't want to vote no. I want to do the right thing for the county. I want us to have all the information we can have, but I don't want to be in the weeds and get something started and then have to come back and it be a train wreck on the backside. So for me, we're in the weeds and we need to start with Elaine, with the IDB. Elaine told me a long time ago on the first building she ever built, I wasn't going to vote for it. She said, if you'll vote for that building, I promise you I'll get somebody in it. And she's done it every time. Now, we've had some issues with people going bankrupt, happens every day. But then you can look at some of the other things we have, like Frito-Lay, that we've given these pilots to, and they've been here, they've built on, they've had multiple pilots. They're great, and all of them are great assets. Nobody means to go bankrupt, I don't think. But things happen, and we're going to have those problems. But let's not get, from my standpoint, let's not get in the weeds. Let's stay in the short grass and make sure we do it the right way and go through the committee process as it should be. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Any, Commissioner Frazran?
I look at it as you brought an example of Knox County. Last time I looked, Knox County is a big old county. So I mean, I don't think Doug's first grade comment was kind of appropriate right there because I mean, the growth they have and what they have, I don't believe CTAS would have brought that to us and showed it to us if they thought it was first grade material.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'd like to add, I don't think that we're trying to shortchange or change any bit of the committee. We're just wanting for the commission to have more information than what we've been getting.
Okay. All righty. We got a motion and properly seconded. Discussions been called for. Seeing no others. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. No. Let's have a roll call.
We now have 24 commissioners present.
Okay.
Also.
All righty.
Brandon Coley.
No.
David Sanders.
No.
Danny Walker.
No.
John Creason.
Yes.
Bonnie Caldwell. Terry Lynn Rogers.
Yes.
Jack Atchley.
Yes.
Kate Ewan.
No.
Mark Mitchell.
Yes.
Charles Hunter.
Yes.
Marianne Tackett.
No.
Steve Spray.
No.
Daniel Eldridge.
Yes.
Jason Nix.
No.
Anthony Taylor.
Yes.
Doug Cunningham.
No.
Pat Haynes.
Yes.
Tori Young.
No.
Ricky Bryant.
No.
Glenn Douglas.
Yes.
Steve Guntherberg.
Yes.
Troy Frazran.
Yes.
Jason Hambrick. Jeannie Rose Walter.
Yes.
I have 13 ayes, 11 no.
Pat?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Commissioner Sims, Attorney Sims will if you will, if you'll look at that and see if there's anything, things you think we need to add, subtract, or whatever on that. Yes, sir. We'll get you one tonight. All righty. Thank you. All right. Next item. Consideration for approval to hire County Attorney Ed Sims as the delinquent tax attorney for the collection of the 2024 delinquent taxes. Need a motion to that effect, please. Okay, Commissioner Frazran, no, excuse me.
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Gunthenberg makes the motion, Commissioner Frazran seconds it. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Unanimously passed. Next item. Let's give it to somebody else to talk other than me. Tracy Perkins, Lincoln County Planner, consideration for approval of file 2026R3 rezone from A1 to A2 of the Englishes at 2313 Pulaski Highway.
This is parcel map 55, parcel 18.00, owned by Charles English. The Planning Commission gave a favorable approval on this, or favorable recommendation on February 2nd of this year. Last month, we called for a public hearing and vote. So basically, the applicant is asking for the A2 zoning to be able to divide it into two smaller parcels. It's 1.52 acres. A2, you have a minimum of 7/10 of an acre or 30,000 square feet. So if it is rezoned to A2, they can divide it into two lots. They've remodeled one of the home on one of the lots, and then there's more land that they could divide off and possibly put a house on or something to that effect. All the properties around it are A1. It is sandwiched between Boones Hill Road and Pulaski Highway. And because of the driveways there, more than likely this one would be addressed, the new parcel without the house would be addressed off of Boones Hill Road, so that the driveways would not be too close. Let's see, it is not in a flood hazard area, and I think I've kind of told you most of everything about it. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions?
I wasn't able to come, I'm sorry, to the hearing, but water is available on that road?
They said they have available public utilities there.
What-
And part of our subdivision process is that they have to have their own meter on each lot. They can't share meters. They can't have it off at the road or anything like that. It's gotta be on the lot it serves.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Sander makes a motion for approval. Commissioner Hunter seconds. Any other questions?
I got a question, Bill.
Yes, sir.
You know, we know what is proposed. What other things can they do if it's zoned A2? Let's just say we zone it A2 and they decide not to do what he's talking about, and he ends up, what else can you do?
Pretty much suburban residential. It's a residential lot.
I mean, a lot of times we're voting so that they can do what they tell us they want to do. But when we do that, it also allows them to do anything and everything in A2.
And there's not a ton of things that you can do in A2 other than suburban residential for the most part. I mean, we can get out the zoning resolution and read down through there, but for the most part, suburban residential is meant for housing.
Any other questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Thank you. Next item, Commissioner Cunningham, you ready for the IDB report?
No, sir. As a matter of fact, your office didn't notify me about that. No, sir, I'm not prepared to get one of those tonight.
Okay. We'll move it to next month then.
That would be wonderful.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Commissioner Nix, acting as finance director at this point, correctly?
Yes, sir. Just have a budget. Well, that's not going to move.
I have a budget amendment. A couple months ago, I came here because we had this same thing that happened. The water department's doing their water line right now. They're with the ARP grant that they've gotten. So we've got money in. Once again, we need to cut checks. We got the money in after the budget meeting process. So this is just me coming to the floor to make this amendment as opposed to you reading it through, or Ricky reading it through the regular budget amendment. So I have one budget amendment to represent you. It's a $525,716.54, a budget amendment to record the revenues and expenditures that's received for the ARP water grant. So their money, state money, water department money, we're a pass through, same as 2 months ago, different amount.
Okay. So are we ready to vote on that at this point?
You can vote on it at this point,
Okay.
and then the regular 101s when Ricky reads them.
But it's not under the 101s right now.
Correct. It's not under those.
Okay.
It's a separate
Does everybody
thing.
understand what we're doing? Okay. I'd entertain a motion for that amendment. Commissioner Ashley makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Ewan seconds it. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryan, I believe we're ready for the budget report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Budget Committee of the County Legislative Body of Lincoln County, Tennessee met pursuant to due notice at the EMA office on March 3rd, 2026, 5 o'clock. All members were present, bar 2. We had no public comments. Item 1 was the mayor, and he gave us an update on the medical building. So the company out of Florida had made an offer for the full price. B, professional services agreement for municipal code enforcement with fee schedule attached will be taken to the commission floor on March of 2026 after all commissioners have had the opportunity to review the agreement. That's attached.
Okay. On this, Attorney Sims reviewed it. There was a couple of changes. One was changing the ending date to June 30th of 2026. There was had to be an addition on the address. I think, was there anything else, Ed, that comes to mind on that? They've agreed with everything, but we have not got back the signed copy on the ending date of June 30th, 26. They verbally agreed on that. So if you want to approve this motion, it would be contingent on that ending date with a signed contract from them.
One other matter, Mayor.
Okay.
Paragraph 20, the venue for any disputes, they had Davidson County, Tennessee.
Okay.
We need that to be Lincoln County.
Okay. Everybody understand that? It would have to be contingent on that it's returned. Any lawsuits would be in Lincoln County, and the ending date of this would be June 30th, 2026. Because one of the things, and correct me, Mr. Nix, if I'm wrong, we'll have to bid this out if we continue the process with them.
That's correct. So a couple of things. Y'all had asked me at budget to review the numbers of it. I think Bonnie had mentioned she wanted to hear it too. So if we go March 1 through the end of this year in the contract, that would be roughly $15,300 of what it would cost. Okay. We do have some money within their budget, another line item that's available. It's unpaid supervisor line. That's about $28,000 available there, $28,860 actually. So we do have money to cover this year only. So after talking to the auditor today, actually, the service does not fall into the professional services. So it would have to actually be bid out for the FY 26-27 year, which we'd have to do an RFP, RFQ, probably early May to be set up for the next year. So if we went by just those numbers that they gave us on this particular contract, this is assuming they would win the bid according to their fee schedule, it'd be roughly $44,000 a year, a little over.
Okay. Everybody understand that?
That's just round numbers right now. Of course, the bidding process could shape that number different.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to approve this with those contingencies.
You said June 30th, 2026. It says 2027.
That's one of the changes. It is end of June of this year.
Start another one.
Then it has to be bid. They could not just automatically renew. Yeah. Any questions? Entertain a motion to approve that with those contingencies that it comes back, Murfreesboro address, any lawsuits would be in Lincoln County, and it ends on June 30th, 2026. Commissioner Taylor makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Spray seconds. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
C, new livestock barn at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds grant. This grant would be for $2 million to $2.5 million and would need to be applied for in the name of Lincoln County. The Fair Association would need to lease the land where the present livestock barns are located to Lincoln County in order to apply for this grant. The grant would remove all of the old livestock barns and rebuild with new livestock barns. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell, passed 5 yes, 2 absent, and 1 abstention to recommend approval of the request to apply for this grant.
Okay, let me explain a few things on this. Okay, first off, I think this is very beginning on this. A little about Lincoln County Fairgrounds. The fairgrounds are owned by a corporation that has stockholders. And disclosure, I have 4 stock in that own it. Then there is a nonprofit that actually leases it from that stockholder corporation that runs the fair and the fairgrounds. So there's 2 different corporations. The people that approached me were people from the nonprofit that operate the fair. So this is me not playing Ed Sims, but I think they would probably have to deed the property to Lincoln County, that the stockholders would, and then we would be leasing it back if the grant went through and the buildings were built to that nonprofit. Is that for a non-lawyer? Okay, thank you. Then I'll entertain a motion.
Move to concur.
Okay, Commissioner Bryant makes a motion. Commissioner Young seconds it. Well, we need to get a second first, excuse me. Okay. Okay, Commissioner Caldwell seconds it. Discussion.
Sure, I wanted that for the motion, but I think our barns at the fairgrounds are very historical. Why are they wanting to tear that down and redo that when not many of the fairgrounds in the state would have that historical value? They've been there 100 years. Why do we want to change that?
Well, from somebody that showed 50 years ago, they were antiquated then, far as, I mean, first off, I mean, just the show arena, the wash racks, all of it is pretty inconvenient. And I think when you compare it to all other, fairs the size of this, it's, it's not, I mean, the wood is historical, but it's outlived its usefulness for what now. When we used to go and Doug was there and I was there, it was totally different. It was a whole week you were there. They had a hog barn that was full. They had a Hereford barn that was full and a Jersey barn that was full. And it worked out pretty good. But we showed cows in front of the grandstand, and Doug and them showed hogs in the hallway of the hog barn. So things have changed, and I do like the historical part of it because it was part of my life growing up, but it is kind of antiquated now as far as what everybody else. Go ahead. Was you going to say something else, Tori?
I was.
Okay. Who else, Ray? Somebody else?
If you got more, I'll go ahead. I just had one question.
I just wanted to say I've shown there, my kids have shown there, and just that barn, it helps the children have creative thinking skills as to how they're going to make this work. And that's a really good thing for those kids to have to experience. I just don't want to see that history go away because we could have something updated and much better, but there's a lot of history there that I don't want to see gone.
Okay. Well, the decision we're making tonight, whether we move forward with it or not, is not about the facility. You know, they may do something else and it's not up to us. The question tonight is are we going to participate in seeing if we can get a grant for those? But I understand yours, and if you vote against it, you know, as that probably if they don't get it, they're not going to have the money to do it. But I do understand your thoughts.
I guess that's probably is a premature question then, because my question was, is it to tear them down and rebuild right there in that spot, or can they not rebuild in the infield somewhere and keep those, or just give up? It's just a spot of land. So really, this is a premature question because this is just applying for the grant. I guess now that I'm talking it out loud, but maybe you can have both. I don't know. I guess is the thing, possibly. So anyway, I'll shut up.
Commissioner Ewan.
Are we going to lease the land? Are we going to?
Okay, again, you know, this is so preliminary. This probably is not going to happen in my term as mayor because they have not even voted to do this, you know, at the level of the Fair Association as far as the stockholders. So they would have to vote to, you know, give the land to Lincoln County, and with us applying for the grant and then leasing back that to the operating nonprofit. So, you know, it's.
That be okay to do by the state?
Pardon?
Does the state have to get involved in this or anything?
They'd have to approve it because it's state money that they're applying for. Commissioner Caldwell.
I was just gonna say, I understand where you're coming from. When we first heard about this, I was so excited, and I think you could see it on my face, just the idea of this happening. And just to take it back to, this is happening for our future and our children in the community. I spoke with the Agriculture Extension Office today, and I did reach out to a couple of Fair Board members, and just to give you an idea of who's using the barn, in 2025, there was a little over 1,400 animals that went through that barn, just the week of the fair. 81 beef, 321 sheep, and 272 goats. Almost 400 people showed animals that week, and just to remind you again, agriculture is product sold is number one in Lincoln County. Cattle and is number one, livestock and poultry is number two, and we are ranked number 4 in the state for agriculture. And I mean, anything to give the kids in our community something that costs us nothing, I mean, I'm 1,000% for. And my child does show beef cattle, and she shows in this barn, and it is extremely hard to show in this barn. We do travel all over the state, and man, there's some nice barns out there. And when we travel, when we go to these shows, there's 200 kids there. Well, there's 200 kids there that have drove there, that are buying gas there. We're staying in their hotels, we're eating in their restaurants. These are things that we could potentially do if we had the right facility to bring these shows in. And I mean, again, it's for the children, it's for agriculture, it's for our community, and I can't support it enough. And I'm sure if anybody had any questions with the agriculture, I mean, the extension office would love to come and talk and answer any questions. And again, I'm a huge supporter of this.
Okay. Commissioner Rose-Walter.
I would say I concur with Commissioner Caldwell. I've had several people in my district that have complained about what those facilities look like, and that we are number 4 in the state, and can we not do better than that? I asked this question at budget, and I'm going to ask it again tonight, just so our constituents know this is at no cost current or in the future to us, the constituents.
We're accepting no match on the grant and no future cost as far as the maintaining the property. Commissioner Frazran.
And I've asked this question at budget, I was gonna ask it again, so it's on camera, and make sure we get the same answer. It is no cost to the taxpayers in Lincoln County for this barn or any of the facilities.
That's correct. Commissioner Walker?
I need to abstain from the vote.
Okay. All righty. Commissioner Ashley?
Comment. I go to Wilson County in the government, and I've been going there for many, many years. And they had an old timey fairgrounds, right in the middle of town, like basically like what we do. Their improvements were great, but they also they still have their old show barn there. So, premature, as Mr. Nick said, I mean, I'm for the grant, but I hope that they would think about improvements and holding on to some of the historical stuff too, because when you look at theirs, they did that. And they have an outstanding facility, probably bring in millions. So, from that standpoint, we might get both sides taken care of. Well, we hadn't seen the plans, we don't know what they're gonna do.
Right. Anyone else? Commissioner Cunningham?
I haven't got one of the little things you're supposed to read when you have a possible conflict of interest, but yet you're gonna vote because you think you can get past the fact that I get one pass for my stockholders tickets. And but I think I can vote anyway. I don't think that's gonna influence me in any manner.
Yeah. Okay. Any other? All those in favor of moving forward by what we've discussed about applying for the grant with all these other hoops jumped through, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. And how many abstentions? Raise your hands if there was an abstention. Okay, we got Walker, you got Hambrick, was that it? And Douglas. Okay. So what did that come out to? 21 and 3 abstention. Motion passes. We're back to you, Commissioner Bryant.
Item 2. All right. Brad Luna, Lincoln County School Technology Director, and we're going to have to make a little stop right here because we in just a second, so just bear with me. Item A, school internet multi-year contract. That bid opening was as early as it could be, and it was 3/17/26. That means it was today. Brad Luna did have a recommendation at the March 2026 commission meeting. And there's going to be 2 items, and I'll go on and tell you what those are right now. We have a Chromebook lease. It's going to be a multi-year contract, and that's attached. And there's also going to be, and he'll speak to that in just a second, there'll be a resolution that he's going to talk about. So, Brad?
Good evening, everyone. Good to see everybody tonight. The first thing we are asking for approval for, the state, unfortunately, go figure, was very delayed in getting some contracts approved at the state level when we had to do our own bid, and this was a last-minute contract for me for the internet. This is basically, we have one internet pipe for the schools, and then we have a different set of pipes that delivers it out to the schools, and that's what this bid is for. It's for 3 years, so we have to come to the county commission for any kind of multi-year contract. We're not 100% sure we're going to utilize this contract, so we're basically just asking for permission to use this. We're still going to try to see if we can get a better price off of the state contract, since they finally did get their act together and get some contracts approved. So the first thing we would ask for is approval for to enter this multi-year contract if it's in our best interest on that.
Okay, and then we'll have the resolution as a separate item after this.
That will be, the resolution is for the computer lease.
Okay,
So,
all right. Okay, so we're ready for the motion that you just read, Commissioner Bryant.
All right. Here was the motion. We had a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Sanders, passed 6 yes, 2 absent, to approve multi-year Chromebook lease.
Okay. What's the will of the commission on this item? Okay.
I'll stand because that's on the lease, actually. which is what he's going to talk about next. This, what he's talking about now, is just the bid opening day. There was no motion, no second. All that was done.
Okay,
That's gonna be
information
done.
item on this, okay.
No, there needs to be a motion on what he's talking about. Does that make sense? So today there was a bid opening in our office for the internet contract, which is totally separate than the lease. The lease on the
Okay.
Chromebooks will become next. So he didn't have, at budget, when he came, he didn't have we didn't do any action because the action was going to come just today on this right now. So there needs to
Okay.
be a motion and second to approve Brad to be able to have the option to use the bid that he got today.
Okay.
But he's saying he may not, it's a lot more complicated. He's saying he may not use that because he finally had, the state got their act together and he can do some mini bids and hopefully get a better price. At worst case, he would use this bid today on the pricing he got today.
Okay.
Which he can explain the pricing if he want to, but
The
it might
motion
be.
should be give discretion to Brad Luna to accept or refuse the bid was received today.
Correct.
Or technically it'd be the finance director because he'd had to sign.
Or,
Well, it would be to
Yeah.
give me the opportunity to sign it as finance director because it's a
Okay.
it would be a multi-year contract.
Okay. Y'all understand? Okay. I'd entertain a motion. Commissioner Ashley makes a motion. Second by Commissioner Douglas. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Now, we're ready for the resolution.
Ready for
This
the
will be-
lease now?
This will be the this will be Chromebook lease now.
Okay,
A multi-year
lease.
contract there, and then the resolution has to also be a separate motion and approval because it has to go to the comptroller for approval with that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
but this is all one item of Chromebook leases.
Okay.
You want to handle those in one item or two? We've got a A and a B. We've got a lease, and then we've got a B for comptroller's approval.
Let's handle them together. I mean, it's got to happen together
fine.
for it to
Be two
work.
motions here then, one I've already read. Motion A, we've got a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Sanders, and pass, 6 yes, 2 absent, to recommend approval of the Chromebook lease. The second motion we had was a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell, and passed 6 yes, 2 absent, to recommend the previous Chromebook lease motion pending the comptroller's approval.
Okay, does everybody understand? I'd entertain a motion that those are together because they complement each other. Commissioner Spray makes that motion. Commissioner Mitchell makes second. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Okay, now we're ready for the resolution, right?
Yes. I thought that was in the motion. Did you? Sorry,
No, I think what was in that motion
Okay,
was
this-
the original motion, and then we amended it at that budget meeting to pending comptroller's approval. So
I
that
gotcha.
was what that motion was.
I don't think it would hurt anything to do a separate motion just for the resolution.
Okay.
So it's clear.
Everyone
in the
get a
minutes
copy
eventually.
of this resolution. Anybody got questions? Entertain a motion for approval of that resolution. Commissioner Taylor makes a motion. Commissioner Douglas seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
Item 3, Fire EMA
Thank you, Brad.
Director Doug Campbell. A, Fire EMA surplus property that's attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Hambrick, passed 6 yes, 2 absent. Recommend approval of the Fire EMA surplus property and selling it at public auction.
What's the will of the commission on this item?
Move to concur.
Commissioner Bryant makes a motion. Who seconded? Commissioner Frazran. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
Item B, fire trucks, and they're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Cunningham, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell, to purchase the fire trucks. There was 2 for $354,000. We had an amendment to that motion. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant to separate the fire trucks, seconded by Commissioner Spray, passed 5 yes, 1 no, and 2 absent to separate the motions for the fire trucks. Well, that motion passed. The next motion was by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Sanders. Passed 4 yes, 2 no, and 2 absent to purchase the ladder truck, which is one of those trucks, for $75,000.
Okay. Everybody understand the first one is I would entertain a motion for purchase or not to purchase the fire truck for the $354,000.
Make a motion, we purchase the ladder truck.
Okay. This is a $75,000 truck. That's the one you're making the motion on, Commissioner Frazran?
Yes.
Do I have a second? I recognize Commissioner Young, second. Any discussion? Now, you know which one we're voting on? It's the one that's to purchase the ladder truck for $75,000.
I have one item of discussion, and I really think we
Okay.
need a ladder truck. And I made the motion to buy the ladder truck. But now it does, and Doug said this in the meeting, it does have some deficiencies. I want to be sure everybody understands that. There's some major deficiencies, and he'll be more than glad to talk about that, I'm sure. There's 4 or 5 of those, would that be? And then there's a bunch of small deficiencies. There's a total of 60 deficiencies on this truck. So I just want everybody to understand that we're going to spend a little money on it, but a truck of that caliber would probably cost a lot of money. So I just want everybody to be clear, because I don't want us to have a problem and come back and say, well, we didn't know, because I want you to know that I pulled the report and it has exactly 60 deficiencies.
Okay. Commissioner Ewan.
This truck, how old was this truck? Because I was in a budget, I was sick, but how old was this truck?
25 years.
Okay, so then you're talking about another 30,000 to do these deficiencies and fix them, if you can get the parts, right?
I don't know.
So we're talking 75, maybe $100,000 now, and you have to have these things fixed?
Hey. Is Doug back? Doug?
I think we ought to have Mr. Campbell.
Yeah.
Address this. There was a lot of discussion in budget stuff.
So good evening. This is the original ladder truck that the Tennessee State Fire School purchased and put into service in 2000. It has been in service until the new one arrives soon and is now available at a price of $75,000. We hired Brindley Mountain to go and perform this TDOT assessment and complete review of the truck. With the 60 deficiencies, some are minor. There are what's considered 4 major. One of those being front shocks. One of them being a hydraulic generator, which they suggested we not replace. One of them being the nozzle on the end of the ladder, which is missing a motor, which the Academy has not chose to use or replace. And I'm drawing a blank on the 4th one.
Transmission leak.
The transmission seal. So they expected in their estimate $10,000 to $15,000 to fix the majority, with those 4 being included. In the initial assessment, they suggested that if we bought the truck for $75,000 and we put another $75,000 in it to make it brand new, that it would bring between $600,000 or $650,000 if we chose to resell it, is their estimate. What they will do with this $15,000 is pick up the truck, carry it to Brindley Mountain, fix these few major issues and the minor ones. They will provide us with a full pump test, a certified pump test, and they will do a complete ladder test on it, which is an annual, and there's a 1-year and 5-year ladder test that's required, and they'll perform that on it for us. So we're getting a bargain if you go and price ladder trucks. The one the city's getting is about $2.2 million. So it's a good buy. It meets many of our needs right now. as a county going forward with the growth that we're experiencing and the things that you have in place. If we choose not to, we may not find one at this price soon, but we may. I'm in favor of the truck. I've known the truck. I've worked part-time at the academy, and I've used the truck. It doesn't have that many hours on it, and it's never driven very far from the academy. So I think it's a good buy, but I'm a fireman, so I'll leave it at that. Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't they just keep the fire truck? Why did they go buy a new one if it's still in such good shape?
So they replaced, or they bought a 75-foot ladder a couple of years ago as a backup. This is 105 foot. And the new ladder that they've bought is a platform ladder, which a lot of the municipalities are going with now. And they have no equipment at the academy to teach with the ladder operations using a platform up there. So they needed to do an upgrade. And this process was started about 3 or 4 years ago to try to get the money from the state to do the upgrade.
Was it, they're the first owners, they bought it new in 2000?
Yes, sir. It was purchased new by the state of Tennessee in 2000 when we opened the new, when they opened, I say we because I've been there since 96, but when the new State Fire Academy was opened in 2001 officially, it was one of the brand new pieces of equipment that was put in place there. Yes, sir.
Who can drive it, or you have to be certified to be a ladder truck driver?
You do, and we've got people starting this year taking the first 80-hour class on it, and then there's a follow-up 40-hour class for it in order to be officially qualified and operate it. So
Where would you leave the truck at the EMA building? Or?
right now we have a facility, we have enough room at the EMA building when we add it on to park it there and keep it in the dry. Eventually it would be at the proposed station we've talked about off Lincoln Road between the two industrial parks, which should help it hopefully recruit industry.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioner Douglas.
Doug, on the parts that are replaced, what kind of warranty is on them?
So their manufacturer's parts, Pierce is still in business, and let me back up. I think it's a Freightliner chassis on a Ferrari body with a Smil ladder. And when they put that together, so you got 3 different manufacturers. Smil is still one of the best ladder companies in the world. They're still in business, and parts are still available for the ladder and the chassis. Ferrari was bought out, but there's still parts available right now on that. I mean, that's a good question, as we've run into things with our fire trucks about parts not being available. To date, when Brindley Mountain did the TDOT inspection on this, he found none of those as being an issue.
Commissioner Sprague.
Besides the plants in Park City, they're fully sprinkled, correct?
Right now, yes.
So what would a 105-foot ladder help if I'm building fully sprinkled?
So anything close or spread
Or is there
or
anything else in Lincoln County that a 105-foot ladder would need be?
the height of them, if you had to get on top of them with the distance from the building, you would probably require that at Heratech right now. You couldn't get to it with a 75, I don't think, with the distance from the building to it in all locations. You could from the dock area, but with the way they've rounded about, built around it, I mean, 105 is a big ladder, but it's not any longer than the 75. The other thing is on your ISO rating, we have enough facilities in the county that are 2 or 3 story where by ISO grading standards, we're supposed to have a ladder.
But we not got the water supply for that truck.
We do. We have in the industrial parks and along Huntsville Highway and a few of the other roads, but it's going to be a problem out in the county. But we've proven, based on the recent times we've helped on the square with SERS and recently, that we have the ability to shuttle water to keep one supplied, because we supplied Tullahoma Ladder twice, running a water shuttle, 1,500 GPM tip.
Any other questions?
One of the things I brought up the bad points, I'm gonna bring up the good. That truck would have been, if it was operational, would have been instrumental in helping downtown, I think, here. It would have been here much faster than the people that we did have mutual aid respond. So that's one of the pluses. So
Okay.
that's something we talked about in budget also. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Cunningham.
While Mr. Campbell's up there, I know we were talking about two trucks here. Overall, what would these two trucks do for your for the EMA out there? Because you discussed that originally in the budget.
With what the county has done over the last 4 or 5 years in upgrading the fleet of apparatus in this county, you're to be well commended. With the other truck that's mentioned, we will have one engine left in the county that is older than a 2000 model, which is quite a feat when you figure 9 years ago we only had 10 engines that were newer than a 2000 year model. And I don't think any tankers in just a few of the rescues. So with 40 pieces of apparatus that Lincoln County owns, 14 of those being pumpers, we've upgraded. You bought one new pumper last year. We bought some refurb pumpers through Brindley that upgraded 3 more, and we moved out 2 this year by able to purchase the one. We upgraded 2 more stations and got newer model equipment there. And then with the COVID money, we bought 2 brand new tankers, which again boosted our ability to shuttle water. They were 2,450 gallon, and we've replaced some of the smaller 1,000 or 1,500 gallon tankers across the county. Being a hauled water rated county, the pumpers that we're buying are 1,000 to 1,500 gallon pumpers, and our tankers we're trying to stay with at least a 2,000 gallon tanker. So we're able to arrive on the scene with our first 2 apparatus, hopefully with 3 to 3,500 gallons of water, which is instrumental in starting an attack on a house fire. When you consider on the square, we put 1.5 million gallons of water through the 2 ladder trucks. We'll typically run about 15 to 18,000 gallons of water on a routine structure fire in the county. Having that initial water get there is very key to any success that we stand to have.
One more question. The dump tank, how many gallons does it hold?
They vary. Typically what we're buying are 2,100 gallon dump tanks, so we can dump our 2,000 gallon trucks in them. We do have a couple that are 2,500 on the ones that are 2,450, but typically we're staying with the 2,100 gallon just because of the ease of operation on the firemen and the additional weight that's added when you have to go and set those out.
Anyone else? Do we have a motion and a second already? Okay. Seeing no more discussion, why don't we have a roll call vote? The one we're voting on is the ladder truck for $75,000. I think Doug's answered all questions. It should be voting intelligently.
Jeannie Rolls Walter.
Yes.
Jason Hambrick. Troy Frazran.
Yes.
Steve Guntherberg.
I'm just concerned about the age of the truck. I've bought vehicles that were 20 years old and said it was in perfect condition. No, and I spent twice to get it fixed. So I'm gonna abstain from this vote.
Abstain. Okay. Glenn Douglas.
Aye.
Ricky Bryant.
Aye.
Tori Young.
Yes.
Pat Haynes.
Yes.
Doug Cunningham.
Yes.
Anthony Taylor.
Yes.
Jason Nix.
Yes.
Daniel Eldridge.
Yes.
Steve Spray.
No.
Mary Ann Tackett.
Yes.
Charles Hunter.
Yes.
Mark Mitchell.
Yes.
Kate Ewan.
No.
Jack Atchley.
Yes.
Terry Lynn Rogers.
No.
Bonnie Caldwell.
Yes.
John Creason.
Yes.
Danny Walker.
Yes.
David Sanders. Brandon Coley.
Yes.
Have 20 in favor, 3 voted no, and 1 abstention.
Okay, motion passes. Commissioner Bryant, now we'll go back to the
truck.
354.
Well, actually, that would have been the combined total, I think, of both trucks. Is that correct, Doug? We've got another motion where we split those up as amended.
Okay, so it's
It-
the 279,000.
And we had an
Okay.
amendment to that almost. The second one is we had a motion by Commissioner Cunningham, seconded by Commissioner Spray, passed 5 yes, 1 no, and 2 absent to purchase a pumper truck for $279,000. And we have an update to that total since that time. And that truck has decreased in cost, or somebody bargained, or I don't know. But at this point, it's down to $265,000. So we need to make that note in the minutes that that price
Okay.
has changed.
You want me to explain that real quick? before we
Sure.
go forward?
Yep, please.
So what happened on that truck is when I priced it off of the Brindley website and I spoke to them, they said that was the price listed. It comes with a full T-Dot inspection, new tires, pump test, everything ready to hit the ground running. And the government has a Sourcewell contract out there which allows us to buy anything over the threshold limits of the county with pre-approved contracts in place. So with the Sourcewell contract that Brindley Mountain has, it gives us the discount. And when I asked them to send me a quote on the truck officially with the Sourcewell contract, it came in at the $265. So that's why at the time of budget, I had just found that truck on the website, and it perfectly fit our fire station at Belleville, which was just, to me, amazing, as I told the budget committee. To find a truck that's 26.6 in length and 9'6" high that fits one of our existing fire stations, that has 27 feet and 3 inches in length to put a pumper, without having to build a new station or anything. It was a chance I thought that we couldn't afford to pass up, or at least put before the budget committee. And that's why I brought that truck. The truck that's at Belleville right now is one, if you buy this and that leaves the only one left. I guess I misspoke that a little bit early on that. We got 2, both of them in 1991. One of them's at Belleville and one of them's at Howell right now. And this would replace that truck. It would back right into the station, and they could go to work with a 2016 model that's good for at least, that's 15 more years without any refurbing or anything, just general routine maintenance. So that's why that truck came up, and that's why the bid is less. And I'll answer any other questions as we go forward if you've got them.
Any questions? Commissioner Creason?
Why we're replacing, if both of them's the same year, why ain't there a need for 2 of them instead of 1?
Well, there is, but I only found one that will fit our station right now.
More fires in the Belleville area? Or
It's, more fires are south, but you're fighting a fire with a 1991 model truck that needs $15,000 worth of T-Dot repairs on it right now. So I thought it was, you're not gonna find fire trucks are averaging 28.5 to 32 feet. So to find a truck that would fit in an existing station, that meets the needs of this county was pretty unique buy for that kind of money, especially when it's a 2016 year model.
Other questions, Commissioner Hicks?
Not a question, just more of a comment. Worth noting that all this money, the 75,000, and if this goes through 265, is not coming from fund balance, but it is coming from the economic development line. That was mentioned in budget. Don't think it ever really made the motion, but it was. This money is coming from the economic development restricted account line, not fund balance or anything like that.
Everybody understand that, what fund it's coming out of? Okay. I'd entertain a motion one way or the other. Commissioner Cunningham?
I move we approve the purchase of this truck.
Okay. Commissioner Douglas, are you seconding that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any discussion?
This has not been before the fire committee, is that correct? Only the budget committee?
It did go before my fire committee, this second Tuesday night, and it did, get approval through the fire EMA committee.
Thank you.
Okay. Everybody understand? Let's do a roll call.
Branton Coley.
Yes.
David Sanders.
Yes.
Danny Walker.
Yes.
John Creason.
Yes.
Bonnie Caldwell.
Yes.
Terry Lynn Rogers.
Yes.
Jack Atchley.
Yes.
Kate Ewan.
Yes.
Mark Mitchell.
Yes.
Charles Hunter.
Yes.
Mary Ann Tackett.
Yes.
Steve Spray.
Yes.
Daniel Eldridge.
Yes.
Jason Nix.
Yes.
Anthony Taylor.
Yes.
Doug Cunningham.
Aye.
Pat Haynes.
Yes.
Tori Young.
Yes.
Ricky Bryant.
No.
Glenn Douglas.
Yes.
Steve Gunterberg.
Yes.
Troy Frazran.
Yes.
Jason Hambrick.
Yes.
Jeannie Rolls Walter.
Yes.
Have 1 no, 23 in favor.
Okay. Motion passes. Commissioner Bryant.
All right, item 4, Sheriff Tom Malone. He gave us an update on the roofing project at the jail. Porter Roofing has started pouring that lightweight concrete on the roof. We're making good strides there. Item 5, Finance Director Nix presented the following items. A quitclaim deed from Goodman to Lincoln County for a new animal building that's attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Hambrick. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent. Recommend approval of accepting the quitclaim deed from Goodman for the new animal building.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Rolls Walter makes a motion for approval. Commissioner Ewan, I'm sorry, Commissioner Mitchell, we're recognizing green quicker than gray tonight since it's St. Patrick's Day. Any discussion or question on this item? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
B, Pitney Bowes contract renewal. That's a multi-year contract and it's attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent. Recommend approval of the renewal of the multi-year contract with Pitney Bowes.
What's the will of the commission on this item?
Move to concur.
Commissioner Bryant makes a motion for approval. Need a second. Commissioner Coley seconds. I'll get to you in a minute. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved.
All right, item C, 101 general fund budget amendments. We've already been through one of those. I think we've handled that piece of business. Anything else you need on that?
They're in there. You need to go through that
Yeah, I'll get the others,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
you've handled
Yeah,
that one?
we're good.
Okay. The rest of them, we had a motion by Commissioner Sanders, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent to recommend approval of the 101 general fund budget amendments that are attached in the packet.
Okay, what's the will of the commission on this item? Who was that? Commissioner Frazran makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Taylor seconds. Any questions on the 101 amendments? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
D, 141 general purpose school fund budget amendments, they're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Cunningham. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent to recommend approval of the 141s.
What's the will of the commission on this item? I'm sorry, I didn't see. Commissioner Hunter makes a motion. Commissioner Douglas seconds. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
E, 143 centralized cafeteria fund budget amendments, they're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Hambrick, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent to recommend approval of the 143 central cafeteria fund budget amendments.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Good chance for you, Commissioner Mitchell. Commissioner Mitchell makes a motion. Do I have a second? I'm going to just go over to Commissioner Creason. Commissioner Creason makes second. Any discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
F, 146 extended school program budget amendment. That's attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent to recommend approval of the 146 extended school program fund budget amendment.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Spray makes that motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Walker seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
G, financials, they're enclosed. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Hambrick. Passed 6 yes, 2 absent to recommend approval of the financials.
I would entertain a motion that you accept those as enclosed.
Move concur.
Commissioner Bryant makes that motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Douglas seconds it. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved.
That's all we have, Mr. Chairman.
All righty. Was there anything else, Commissioner Nix, that come on budget? We got everything covered on that? Okay. Notary Publics, Madam Clerk.
Have Chelsea Sievers by Commissioner Young, Angela L. Hill by Commissioner Douglas, Amber Hera by Commissioner Rolls-Walter, Wayne Rowland and Mary Ellen Crossland by Commissioner Nix, Richard Freeman II by Commissioner Cunningham, Sabrina Ashley by Commissioner Rolls-Walter, Robin S. Bain by Commissioner Douglas, Tanya Knott by Commissioner Anthony Taylor, Leslie Hamlin by Commissioner Nix, Keisha Bradford by Commissioner Rolls-Walter.
Commissioner Frazran, you got an addition?
Angie Grissom.
Grissom.
Any other additions? Entertain a motion for that list. Commissioner Terry Rogers makes that. Any seconds? Young seconds it. Commissioner Young seconds that. All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Under new business, Commissioner Nix, you got an update for us on the attorney search?
Yes, sir. So the attorney search, y'all were charged this committee from the last commissioner meeting. We met on March the 3rd at 4:30 at the EMA building. We set forth some requirements for the county's next attorney. The ad that we put in the paper will run for at least 2 weeks in the LA Times. They will, the candidate will submit a letter of interest, a resume, a copy of this Tennessee state license, and a minimum of 2 letters of reference. The attorney must be 21 years old, licensed in Tennessee, and be a county resident according to our public act. And the next meeting will be on April the 9th at 5 p.m. at the finance office, and we'll review the applicants then and with the hopes of narrowing it down. That's it. I'll answer any questions I got.
Okay. Any questions?
Do we need to vote on that as a committee?
Yes. Yeah, it's
Commissioner will
elected by
confirm
the
it.
commission. Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Well, the first hand I saw was Commissioner Cunningham.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Commissioner Rose-Walter, you gonna second it?
No, I want to say.
Wait, I can't.
I would like to say thank you to the Goodman and Dakin representatives, Diane Tate. Thank you. Would you like to hold it for me while I speak? Thank you. Okay. I would like to thank the Goodman representatives, Diane Tate, Terry Lynn Owens, and also Tammy Painter for their involvement, and myself in getting the 9 acres donated for the new building eventually that will be built for the animal shelter, and also Commissioner Nix and our lawyer, Mr. Ed Sims, on helping to execute that. I obviously will not be a commissioner when the day comes that that is made, but I advocated for that building, not only because we needed it, but also for the Humane Society. And I hope when the time comes that in some way they are able to utilize those facilities, because I think they do a fine job for Lincoln County, and that relationship, I hope, continues to grow. So just wanted to include that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Only because it's her birthday did I allow her to do that, Commissioner Cunningham. So let's start over.
Well, I was gonna make a comment, she said that would not have happened without her, so,
And she also got us a big win
she stepped down.
this
so.
week with her bill that got help. She got
Well, I would like to thank our paper, Miss Laura, for the article that she wrote about the Gift Act. It's House Bill 2375. And basically what that will do is return money to all rural counties based on Green Belt and then our ag contribution. So it will be wonderful for counties like us. And the money could cover law enforcement needs, fire EMA needs, capital projects, and also to help if there's a pending tax increase, it can help to negate that. So this is a grassroots bill. It's not one that a lobbyist is carrying, so we really need to advocate. All the community members, get out there, email these committees as it moves through, because if this were to pass, and I realize bills take a long time, but I feel like for such a time as this, so if the community could get behind and contact your leaders and help this move through, it would be a huge win for not only Lincoln County, but all other rural communities. Thank you.
Okay.
Now move we.
Do I have a second? All in favor, please rise and leave.